All right, now another question that I get a lot is which one should I do first? Should I do skills training first or should I do strength and conditioning first? It depends on the focus of the day. So let's say it was your Monday workout and you had some agility, some plyos, and some lower body strength training. I would do that first and then I would follow that with your skills training after. Skills training is more of a conditioning demand than any high quality, high intensity day that we can have in the weight room. So it's actually a great primer for those higher intensity, lower body days. We're getting the nervous system revved up. We're getting the muscles activated. That's great to go out on the court. Remember, we're not draining ourselves. We're not pushing for conditioning in those strength and conditioning workouts. We're actually getting our conditioning from the court. So those skills sessions where you're really getting game reps for an hour, you're gonna be tired after you're done with that. And so you're not gonna have the legs to come in and get through a good lifting workouts. You shouldn't be doing plyos, and you probably shouldn't be doing too much agility in that fatigue state. Now, every now and then we do wanna do that because we do wanna build motor patterns under fatigue. But when we're looking at optimal explosiveness and we're looking at these high intensity, high quality sessions, you want to do those while you're fresh. Now, if you have the luxury of splitting the sessions, I would always vote for that. So I would say if you could go in the morning and do your strength session, get your recovery, and then take a long rest and come back hours later, maybe 6 hours later, and then do your skills, that's even better. But I know that that's unrealistic for most of you guys because you make one trip to the gym, you're there, you got to get it in. So in that case, I would do the strength session. I would probably leave myself a 10 or 15 minute window. I would stay moving, so I wouldn't let that 15-minute window really cool me down because then I got to warm back up for my skills session. So in that little 10 to 15-minute window, I'd probably squeeze in some protein with some carbohydrates, just a quick shake, as long as you can digest it, stay moving, get on the court, get some light shots, get yourself warmed up, and then really hit that session hard. Now for upper body sessions, it's the opposite. We want to do upper body after our skills training because with upper body training, if you've ever played basketball, if you get a good upper body lift and then you go out and you start shooting, your first 15 minutes are terrible. That fatigue in the upper body completely changes the motor pattern. And so you're going out and you're getting reps that are not the same motor pattern as your normal mechanics. And so you actually have the potential of ruining your mechanics when you go out there and you go through some really fatigued shots. And you might say, but Paul, what if I'm fatigued in the fourth quarter? Should I train for that? It's a completely different type of fatigue. So this is a very localized fatigue. In a game, it's global fatigue. So your whole body is just tired, but you don't have like burning biceps and burning triceps. It's very localized after an upper body lift. So I would definitely advise to get your skills training in first and then your upper body either right after or separate them. So your skills training in the morning and then your upper body later on in the afternoon or the evening. Now, what if you're on a full body split? So you're not on an upper lower split, you're doing full body. Well, in a perfect world, this is what we would do. And I started doing this a couple years ago and our guys loved it. This is what I'm sticking with. Essentially what we would do is we would warm up, we would get through that lower body portion. If you wanted to add in the core here, you can. Then we would get into our skills training. So that lower body and that core and our mobility, dynamic warm-up, that all primed us for our skills session. We're feeling good, we're feeling activated, revved up, but we don't have too much fatigue. Our upper body's not tired. And then after that session, I would finish up on the court and I would step back into the weight room and I would hit my upper body lift. Then if you have any endurance for the day, we would throw in that endurance at the end of that session. So again, warm up, core, lower body, hour on the court, come back and finish off with our 30 minutes of upper body and potentially our conditioning if we have conditioning for that day. So for some of our athletes, especially our athletes who are on a full body split, when we first presented this idea, it was like, no way am I gonna do this. And it's because they looked at it as, now I'm doing 2 strength and conditioning sessions. It's not 2 strength and conditioning sessions. All we did is split it up. So it's not like we're all of a sudden training for 2 or 3 hours. If your full body workout was gonna take you an hour, all we're doing is splitting it in half. And so you're going 30 minutes before your skills training and then 30 minutes after your skills training. It's still the same amount of total time in the gym. It just makes a lot more sense because then we're gonna get more out of our skills training. We're not gonna have that interference from that localized upper body fatigue. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy this little sample weekly schedule. This is a very similar schedule that I use for most of our pros, even our college and high school players. But listen, it depends on your situation. So we always have a plan and then life hits us in the face, right? So you got to be able to adapt. That's why you got to really understand what you're doing so that you can be flexible with that schedule. If you have a tournament, and that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that completely ruins your schedule because they're going to come in Monday a little bit too sore to go for their high intensity days. And so you got to push everything a day back. But then maybe they have a tournament again the next weekend. And so that's why, you can't really give an exact blueprint. But this is kind of just a general framework that you can work with, and it's proven to get us some pretty good results. If you have any questions, be sure to let us know. Hopefully in the future, we could probably do a part 2 video and possibly give you a different sample program. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you want to get to the next level this offseason, check out the Vert Code or the Vert Code Elite if you really want that blueprint to take your athleticism to the next level. Until next time, I'm out.